Well, we're right in the middle of it here in Madrid. Unfortunately, the Vuelta a España is not going to finish today. Its final stage. Police are lined up. Protesters. This would have been the final kilometer where Philipsen, Alpecin de Koenig would have led out for sprint victory. Protests have been relatively calm, but it's gotten a little bit out of hand at times, and the organization decided to call it off. About 1 hour of racing was cut short, around about 50 kilometers. No stage winner for stage 21 of the Vuelta a España 2025, with Jonas Vingegaard still the race leader in the red jersey. Well, that's a wrap from the 2025 Vuelta a España. We were down in the chaos earlier, and as I reported from the protest there with the police, that this stage 21 has been canceled. We've made it 3 weeks of racing, and I can report Jonas Vingegaard is crowned the King of Spain. However, without the closing ceremonies over here that we usually have in the capital of Spain, because the team buses have left, the riders have gotten in the team cars, and they're heading to the team hotels. This Vuelta a España has been dominated by two teams with two different approaches. The laissez-faire approach of the Spanish, Italian, UAE team, with the not very good organization that never got around João Almeida. They won 7 stages, but they didn't win the race overall. You let me know what's the best approach to taking the Vuelta a España. Visma Lease Bike, they circled all around Jonas Vingegaard, 2-time Tour de France champion. As the police are setting up here behind me, they don't want the protesters to come up from 500 meters to go to the finish line back over that way. Visma Lease Bike rode all around Jonas Vingegaard, twice the Tour de France champion, and wanted to come here to get his second Grand Tour, Tour de France, Vuelta, and I think he's going to go for the Giro d'Italia. It was a success. Now, if we're talking about Mats Pedersen, well, it was brute force. Getting the points jersey, the green jersey, getting one stage win along the way, but not the fast speed of Jasper Philipsen, who collected 3 stage wins along the way here to Madrid, where he was hoping to get another stage win. And I should notice Ineos Grenadiers, another strong team with Bernal, Filippo Ganna, Ben Turner, collecting 3 stage wins to add to their 2 stage wins at the Tour de France with the Rensman. So though they don't have the big GC guns anymore, they came here, they made a success in the Vuelta a España. Top 3 overall, let's quickly run down them. I mentioned, before the police come up, I mentioned Jonas Vingegaard, race winner. João Almeida around about 56, 51 minute back. Tom Pidcock, first time ever, the British rider on the podium of the Vuelta a España. We should mention 4th overall, Jai Hindley and Matthew Riccatello here racing for Israel Premier Tech, which was due to a lot of the tension of the race. That's why the protesters were out, Palestine protesters against Israel's inclusion in the race. Matthew Riccatello got the white jersey, 5th place overall in yesterday's mountain stage. Great ride by him, and he beat out, of course, the ride of Giulio Ciccone, former white jersey rider. This race, unfortunately, was marked by protests, but we got here to Madrid, and one has to question ourselves. We can see the finish line right here behind us. One has to question, why did the organization even bring it here to Madrid when they knew these protests were going to happen? But they insisted, and the race couldn't come through because around about 50 kilometers to go, 1 hour of racing, the race was stopped. Riders packed in. Jonas off to the hotel. Will he ever have a podium ceremony? Remember, he was denied his chance to win the race overall a couple years ago. Sepp Kuss got that when Primož Roglič and Jonas were seemingly riding against Sepp Kuss. Sepp got the victory. 1 year later, Primož Roglič returned with Red Bull. He got the victory. And now Jonas gets his 2 years later. So those guys, even though they didn't all get the win back then, now they each have their own Vuelta a España victory. As the Vuelta wraps up here in Madrid at the end of a long 3 weeks, thank you for joining me. Thank you for indulging me in my runs every morning on Strava and the journey, the Camino we've had together. Jonas Vingegaard, crowned King of Spain, Vuelta a España 2025 victor.